Hi, you're here for the candle making classes, right? Perfect. Do you have any prior experience in making candles? That's okay. I'm going to teach you everything I know so you can start making the same beautiful candles that you see on SHEAMAKERY.com. How does that sound? Perfect. Let's go get started. Hello, and thanks for joining me today. We are going to be talking about candle making. A few years back, when I started my company, I wanted to introduce a new way to enjoy the products, so I created dessert candles that look similar to what we were already selling on the site. So I'm going to show you guys all that I know in creating candles, mold making, and how to make yours look like edible desserts, the same types that you see on our site at SHEAMAKERY.com. So let's get started. The first thing that we are going to learn about are different types of wax that we can use to create candles. Now, the first type being soy wax, I have with me here. Soy wax is very popular because it is natural and it burns very well. It releases fragrance into the air very well, and it's very easy to work with. Your soy wax will most often come in flake form like this, so it allows for it to burn pretty quickly since it's already chopped up. And like I said, it's very versatile when you're creating candles. So the second type of wax that we're going to talk about is paraffin. Now, we no longer use paraffin primarily for the health benefits that soy offers for our customers, but if you were to use paraffin, it is good when creating pillar candles. If you need to have a harder type of wax, paraffin is the way to go there. But do note that paraffin is not 100% natural. It is created as a byproduct of petroleum. So if you are trying to be health conscious and have a very aware group of customers, then you may want to choose more natural types of formulas for your candles. Gel wax. Now, gel wax as well is not natural like soy is, but it's going to create a very cool look when you're trying to suspend any type of material in your candle wax. We use this to create our fruit cup candles, and we're able to suspend little fruit embeds within the wax to where it looks like a fruit cup dessert. You can also suspend sprinkles or glitter, things of that sort. So the gel wax is very versatile. You may still find use for it. And we'll talk a little bit more later on how to go about using this when you're creating your candles. Next, we have our wicks. The wick is largely going to determine how your candle will burn. When choosing wicks, you should strive to achieve the following: a consistent flame, a moderate container temperature, and a well-formed wax pool. There are 3 different types of wicks that you can choose: a cotton core wick, a paper core wick, and a zinc core wick. We personally use the cotton wicks. Make sure that when choosing your wick, it's good quality. If your wick is constructed poorly, it's going to affect the entire performance of your candle. In some cases, you'll realize when this happens by if your candle starts to tunnel in the center after you light it. You'll also notice it if your wick is unable to stay lit and sputters out consistently. So always make sure that you choose a reputable source for your wicks. The third W that we want to remember in candle making is what are we going to put our wax in? Now, there are several types of jars that I've come across over the years. One of the best places, honestly, to find your jars is going to be your local dollar store. The glass is very good quality. It's what's called reinforced glass. So it's very thick, it's very heat resistant, and it only costs about $1. So these here we got at our local dollar store. And you'll see that there are a wide variety in the sizing of our jars. We're also able to source this little one here that has a nice iridescent look to it. So what you're always going to want to remember when choosing your containers, never use plastic. The heat from the wick burning would melt your plastic, so make sure that whatever material that you're purchasing, you are fully aware that it is glass and it is not a rigid type of plastic. Now let's look at some of our options. We have this candle here, which does not come with a lid, but it's very cute if you're going for an inexpensive candle. It does have smooth sides, so that makes it ideal for putting a label on. And again, the cotton wick that we use is still going to be suitable for a jar like this. When you're burning your wicks, you do want to keep in mind, and I'll put a sizing chart at the end of this video, you do want to keep in mind that you don't want the wick to give off too much heat to where the sides of the glass would become compromised and maybe superheat and even shatter. That of course is very dangerous, and you don't want to be selling anything that has the potential to injure your customer. So we want to keep that in mind whenever we're choosing a container, that the neck of it, or the top, isn't too small to where the heat that the wick gives off would cause this to get really hot, or anything like that that poses a threat. So that one there is one that we were able to find at our local dollar store. This one too is really cute because it comes with a little spot for a name tag or any kind of label or saying that you want to write right there. It's a decent size, and although it being small, comes with a very cute lid, which is a great selling point to your customers, because if your container comes with a lid, it does help to preserve the fragrance of the wax a little bit longer. So some customers might prefer that. Next, we have another one that we got from our local department store for only $1. This one too comes with a lid on top, and it's very wide at the base, so you'll be able to fit a decent amount of wax into this here. This one and this one here, I know that this one came with a lid. I am not able to find it right now, but this is really nice because you see the little diamond pattern along the side of the jar is going to release light in a very pretty way. So this might be a really nice selling point, especially if you capture a photo of it burning. I'm sure customers would love to see that. And then the next one we also purchased at a local dollar store. And this here is just an oversized mug. You can create like a hot cocoa candle, any kind of dessert or beverage candle would look really cute in here. As you can see, we put 2 wicks on this. Reason being, the diameter of the jar or the mug is very wide. So 1 wick alone would not produce enough heat to create an even wax pool such as you see here. So in instances like those, you will need to use 2 wicks. We've put this at about 1.5 inches apart from each other. That way, as they're both lit, 1 wick will be enough heat to create a nice wax pool on this side, and then the other wick to produce enough heat on that side. So that's it for our containers. Remember to never use plastic. Always make sure that the rim is thick enough to sustain the heat given off from your wick. And we will also list some online manufacturers in case you're not able to find enough jars or the type of jars that you need in your local department store. We will give you an insider's look into where we ourselves order a lot of our products from. And that's really it for today. So the 3 W's being wax, the kind of wax that you're going to use, wicks, make sure that your wick produces enough heat to melt the kind of wax that you're using. And then your what is the container that you're going to be putting your wax and your wick into. Make sure that the diameter is not too small so it doesn't pose a threat, and that you are not using any kind of plastic material to burn your candles in.